I love receiving messages like yours. I mean, you literally said, I want to share my story. I'm getting amazing results. And it sounds like you're crushing it in tech sales. So why don't you kind of outline how you got to this point today and what you're up to?
Yes, of course. First of all, my first point of start was Course Careers, and I think that opened my life to a new chapter. And I can say that this chapter is going to be my whole life. It was a life changer for me. My background, it was I am a physical education teacher, but I wanted a life changer, and Course Careers was the first time I could see my life in. It's difficult to say it, but to see my life changing for my whole life. and I started in Course Careers. I made the course and it was amazing, and your time there was I learned a lot from you. And then I started taking courses with Faren, and one of the coaches in Course Careers. And I think that two things was like, I cannot describe it because it's difficult to say it, but it was the best decision I've ever made in my life.
It sounds like tech sales is serving as this pivot in a way of your life and how you're spending your time, and you feel really called to the type of work and you see yourself doing it for potentially a very long time. What is it about tech sales that called you to it compared to what you may have been doing previously with the coaching and the training? Maybe you're still doing some of that, but why tech sales?
Yeah, I think that everyone, when you want to change your life, you feel that you cannot do other thing. And seeing the guys sharing their stories was the the point of view that I needed for my life to say, okay, if they can, I can. And I have a background different, like everyone that is changing. I'm also from Argentina, so I'm a Spanish speaker, and I always wanted to be in the US market. And I cannot, when I received my first offer, I couldn't believe it.
Talk about what you learned in course careers.
I learned not just technical things. I learned a way of see tech sales and a way of being within a company. And I think that was the most important thing, and the way you guys summarize books, and you guys give an approach, and you give your perspective on everything. And I think that was the most important thing. Teaching people like be a great person was the main thing that I remember from Course Careers.
And I think you capitalized on an opportunity that is available to so many, but so many feel is out of reach, as being a Spanish speaker in LATAM. You may be wondering, well, how do I work for a great US tech company? And it just seems impossible. But I think you've cracked the code in a way where a lot of these great tech companies have LATAM operations and they want to hire great LATAM talent for their company in the LATAM market. So they're selling the great US tech product to LATAM. So can you talk about your experience being in the LATAM market, native Spanish speaker, landing at a great tech company?
Absolutely. There are companies that are looking for people from LATAM with good English, and all the technical things needed to be in tech sales. And I think that my course on Course Careers was an opener for me for being here. And I think that without Course Careers, I couldn't be here. And there are companies that are looking for people from LATAM. And it is a market that maybe we don't know, and it's really big. And being here it was work with Faren and with Course Careers like you, Trent, sharing how we can be here, and it's contacting the people, and doing the work, prospecting, and being like, I don't know how to say this word, I'm sorry, being persistent on our outreach.
Why don't you think you would have been able to break into tech sales without course careers?
Great question. Because Course Careers and tech sales the course is not giving you just technical things. It's giving us a way of approach our first time on a company in tech sales is giving us uh, a perspective that I think it's impossible to have without a course like this, um, about so many things that you have to know before entering in a company. In my case, from US, um, and I mean, for example, smile, be a great person, and and I'm remembering of that things. But that's the most important thing, I think.
How long did it take you to complete Course Careers?
I think that between 2 and 3 months.
And then once you finished Course Careers, what did you do to find a job?
First of all, I started myself prospecting and looking into opportunities. Um, but first of all, I'm being honest, I just apply. I just
Yeah,
apply.
yeah,
And I think that we almost do. And I didn't get results that way, so I started with Faren, um, and then I started making a list, prospecting, getting in contact with people who might be relevant for me to find a position, and then I received too many offers. I couldn't believe it, and had to choose, and I chose DevRev. I wanted to be in AI, so this was my approach of this.
And what do you think you did differently that allowed you to get all these offers?
Good question. I think that showing how we really are, and you have to find a way to show that you're a person that will kill every commit in the company, and not just saying that you can you can have the results, that you already are having the results, talking with them, and having um, them. I mean, if you have all this way of approaching, sorry, I'm getting nervous.
No, no need to be nervous. I imagine you're on a cold call right now and you got pipeline at stake and got to step up.
Great to hear. So yeah, yeah, definitely showing how you really are, and showing the technical things you know from Course Careers.
What role did the coaching play in your Course Careers experience? Because you've mentioned that now a few times.
Yeah, it was the second best decision I've ever made in my life. The first one was Course Careers, and then being coached with Faren. Um, she gave me a way of thinking that I couldn't have without a coaching. I took a lot of coaching courses from everyone, but I decided to continue with Faren. And the way you can prepare for an interview with them, a way of thinking that you can took from them, um, it was a life changer, because if you come from another background, that will be really helpful.
I imagine there's a lot of people listening that are thinking about pursuing tech sales or are currently on the journey themselves and would love to get all sorts of offers like you did. What tips or tricks would you recommend to them to get offers like you did?
Yeah, tracking everything. First of all, make list of the companies you want to join, then prospecting, getting the contacts from those lists, and then of course, outreach. You have to outreach. You have to before being in a company, you have to outreach, and then contacting, calling if you think that you can break the phone, and getting them in a call would be awesome. And I think that was the I made a call. It wasn't good. It wasn't good at all, but I received an offer from a call.
Well, that's fantastic advice. It's an amazing story. I'm glad we could highlight it here today. I think we'll wrap there. And I really appreciate you showing up and wishing you continued success.
Thank you, Trent. I really appreciate you, and of course, you've done an amazing job. Thank you.
Thank you so much.